Hello, dear listeners, and welcome to Dreamy Sleep Tales. In a reimagined winter wonderland of Westeros, Daenerys, accompanied by her luminous dragon Emberheart, wanders through snow-kissed ruins and enchanted forests, where every whisper of the wind carries ancient magic and quiet hope. Let your heart be wrapped in the tender embrace of this mystical journey as the secrets of the past blend with dreams of tomorrow. Daenerys stepped out into a landscape transformed by winter's gentle embrace. The once familiar kingdom of Westeros now lay in soft, powdery snow, each flake whispering quiet secrets of ancient times. Tonight, the world was hushed, as if holding its breath in anticipation of something wondrous. With the cool air kissing her cheeks, Daenerys tightened her cloak around her and set off along a winding path that meandered through frosted pine groves and over gentle, snow-covered hills. Beside her, Emberheart, her trusted dragon, glowed with an inner warmth that contrasted with the crisp chill of the night. Emberheart's scales shimmered like burnished copper, and soft puffs of luminescent smoke trailed from her nostrils with every measured exhale. Though the dragon's majestic presence had once been a symbol of fire and conquest, tonight she radiated a tender glow, guiding Daenerys through the silvered darkness. As they advanced, the silence was punctuated by the distant murmur of a frozen stream and the delicate crunch of snow beneath their steps. Daenerys' eyes sparkled with a quiet determination, a yearning to heal old wounds and to find solace in the simple magic of the winter night. Her heart, weighed by past burdens and battles, now sought a gentle reprieve, a chance to rediscover hope amid the lingering echoes of strife. They reached a clearing where ancient ruins of a once proud castle lay half buried in snow. The skeletal remains of towering spires and crumbling walls seem to tell tales of a bygone era. Here, under the soft luminescence of a full silver moon, Daenerys paused, her breath forming little clouds in the frigid air. Emberheart, she murmured softly, her voice echoing against the silent stones. These ruins remind me of our past, of all that we have lost and yet still carry within us. Let us rest here a moment and listen to the stories whispered by the wind. Emberheart responded with a low, rumbling purr of agreement, her warm eyes meeting Daenerys's with understanding. The dragon's presence was a steady comfort, a living embodiment of strength and grace, echoing the gentle resolve that Daenerys strove to cultivate. Settling on a fallen stone, Daenerys closed her eyes and let the cool night wash over her. In the silence, memories unfolded like delicate pages of an ancient book. She recalled the days of strife and conquest, the clamor of battles, and the heavy toll of loss. But tonight, in this quiet winter dream, those harsh memories softened, blending with the soft murmur of the wind and the whispering snow. A gentle sound began to swell, a melody as old as time, born on the wind. It was the faint hum of a lullaby, one that seemed to rise from the very stones of the castle. Daenerys listened intently as the melody grew richer, as if the ruins themselves were singing a song of healing and renewal. With each note, her heart lightened. With every gentle refrain, the weight of past sorrows eased ever so slightly. "Do you hear it, Emberheart?" Daenerys whispered. "The past speaks to us tonight, urging us to let go of our grief and embrace the beauty of now." Emberheart's eyes glowed a little brighter as the melody filled the air. The dragon shifted, and with a graceful sweep of her wings, she took flight, soaring high above the castle ruins. Her flight carved gentle patterns against the starlit sky, and from her elevated vantage, she circled the ancient walls as if to honor the memories they held. High above, Emberheart's soft roars blended with the lullaby, creating a symphony that resonated deep within the stillness of the night. Down below, Daenerys rose, feeling the stirring of courage and compassion within her. The voices of old and new wove together seamlessly, guiding her toward the next step of her journey, a path that led deeper into the enchanted heart of winter. Leaving the ancient castle behind, Daenerys and Emberheart traveled onward along a narrow, winding road that cut through an enchanted forest. The trees, laden with shimmering frost, arched overhead to form a natural cathedral of ice and light. Each branch was adorned with delicate crystals, refracting the moonlight into a cascade of soft hues that danced upon the snowy ground. The forest was alive with quiet wonders. A family of deer emerged from the shadows, their eyes reflecting the serene glow of the night. fireflies, tiny beacons of light, floated lazily among the trees, and the gentle rustle of leaves seemed to murmur ancient secrets. Daenerys felt as if the very soul of the forest was welcoming her, inviting her to remember that beauty could be found even in the most desolate of times. As they moved deeper into the forest, Daenerys noticed a peculiar glow emanating from behind a cluster of frost-covered trees. Drawn by curiosity, she approached a small clearing where a frozen pond lay like a mirror, its surface cracked with intricate patterns. Upon the ice, delicate etchings appeared, shapes that hinted at symbols of old, reminiscent of the histories and legends woven into the fabric of Westeros. Kneeling by the edge of the pond, Daenerys traced a finger lightly along one of the etched symbols, feeling a gentle warmth radiate beneath her touch. It was as though the pond held memories of hope and renewal, preserved in the delicate patterns of the ice. For a long moment, she sat in silent communion with the frozen water, letting the mystique of the moment seep into her being. Even in winter, life finds a way to leave its mark, she mused softly, a reminder that in every ending there is the promise of a new beginning. From the darkening forest, the soft approach of footsteps reached her ears. Daenerys looked up to see a solitary figure emerging from behind a snow-draped tree. A woman clad in a cloak of deep blue, her face illuminated by the gentle light of the moon. The woman moved with a quiet grace, and her eyes held the warmth of someone who had traversed many long, silent winters. "Greetings, traveler," the woman said in a calm, melodious tone. "I am Lyanna, a keeper of old tales and silent promises. I sensed your heart's longing, and I have come to share a story that might help you on your journey." Daenerys rose, her curiosity mingling with a sense of deep respect. "Welcome, Lyanna. Please join me. I have been listening to the whispers of this enchanted night, seeking solace in the gentle magic of these winter dreams." Lyanna smiled kindly and settled beside Daenerys on the edge of the frozen pond. Together, they gazed into the intricate patterns on the ice, where the symbols of old seemed to shimmer in a dance of soft luminescence. "Long ago," Lyanna began, her voice weaving seamlessly with the quiet murmur of the forest. "This land was a place where hearts, no matter how burdened, could find rest in the embrace of winter's quiet grace. There was a time when the winter was not a season of despair, but one of reflection and hope. The cold was a reminder of life's fragile beauty, and the snow, each delicate flake, was seen as a promise of renewal. Daenerys listened intently, her eyes reflecting the soft glow of the moon and the unspoken truths of the ancient tale. In every winter, there comes a night when the veil between the past and the present thins, continued Lyanna. On such nights, the guardians of the old magic awaken. They are not harbingers of destruction, as the tales of war might suggest, but gentle keepers of wisdom and healing. They remind us that every scar, every loss, is but a prelude to a new dawn. Emberheart, circling above, dipped low as if to lend her own silent acknowledgement to the story. The connection between the dragon and the land, between Daenerys and the ancient magic, felt profound. Each heartbeat of the night pulsing with the promise of transformation. As Lyanna spoke, Daenerys felt a stirring within, a call to embrace not only the memories of her past, but also the potential for redemption and renewal. The journey she had embarked upon was more than a physical traverse through winter's domain. It was an inner voyage toward healing and self-discovery. When Lyanna's tale reached its gentle conclusion, she rose gracefully, offering Daenerys a small, crystalline pendant that shimmered with the hues of dawn. May this token remind you that even the darkest nights give way to the light of a new day. Carry it with you and let it be a beacon of hope in moments of uncertainty. Daenerys accepted the pendant with reverence, its cool surface warming slightly in her hand, a tangible symbol of the promise that the night held. Thank you, Lyanna. Your story has filled my heart with courage and calm. I shall treasure this always. With a final serene smile, Lyanna melted back into the depths of the forest, leaving Daenerys and Emberheart to continue their journey. The road ahead wound through valleys of softly rolling snow and past glimmering ice formations that twinkled like fragments of a long-forgotten constellation. The duo soon reached a vast open plain where the sky met the earth in a seamless expanse of white and silver. Here, the wind carried with it a sense of liberation, a song of freedom and quiet introspection. Daenerys felt a swell of emotion as she gazed upward at the heavens, where countless stars sparkled like distant promises. In that moment, the boundaries between past and present blurred, and she could almost feel the gentle caress of history mingling with the present hope. Drawing closer to the edge of the plain, they discovered an ancient stone archway partially buried in snow, a relic from an era when magic and might had danced together in harmony. The archway stood as a silent portal, its weathered surface engraved with symbols reminiscent of those on the frozen pond. It beckoned Daenerys to step through, to leave behind the familiar and embrace the mystery that lay beyond. Hesitantly, yet with a resolute heart, Daenerys approached the arch. Emberheart lowered her massive head so that Daenerys could pass beneath its cool stone. As she stepped through, the world transformed once again. The scene that greeted her was one of ethereal beauty, a hidden valley bathed in the soft glow of twilight, where silver streams wove through clusters of crystalline trees. In this secret haven, time itself seemed to slow. The air was imbued with a delicate fragrance of pine and wildflowers, and the gentle murmur of water over smooth stones created a lullaby that resonated deep within Daenerys' soul. Here, the burdens of leadership, the scars of battles past, and the weight of expectations melted away, replaced by a profound sense of calm and belonging. Daenerys wandered along a meandering path, her footsteps light on the soft moss and fallen leaves. At intervals, she paused to admire the tiny miracles of nature, a delicate snowdrop breaking through a carpet of frost, a cluster of stars reflected in a still pool of water, the graceful flight of a moth in search of warmth. Each moment was a reminder that even in the midst of winter's chill, life flourished in its quiet, persistent way. As she journeyed deeper into the valley, Daenerys came upon a small clearing encircled by ancient oak trees, their gnarled branches heavy with time-worn wisdom. In the center of the clearing stood a solitary stone bench, its surface smoothed by the passage of countless seasons. Here, she decided to rest and reflect on the path that had brought her to this moment of serene introspection. Settling upon the bench, Daenerys gazed at the pendant in her hand, its crystalline facets catching the light in a kaleidoscope of colors. The gentle hum of the valley, the soft rustling of leaves, and the distant, comforting presence of Emberheart created a cocoon of peace around her. In that quiet moment, she allowed herself to remember not only the pain and loss that had defined her past, but also the tender joys that had illuminated her journey. Her thoughts were interrupted by the sound of slow, deliberate footsteps approaching from behind. Turning, Daenerys saw a figure emerging from the shadows, a young knight clad in armor that bore the marks of many winters. His expression was gentle, his eyes kind and understanding. Lady Daenerys, the knight greeted in a soft, respectful tone. I am Sir Rowan. I have long wandered these lands, seeking solace from my own past. The quiet magic of this valley has been my refuge, and now it seems our paths have crossed for a reason. Daenerys offered a warm smile, inviting him to sit beside her on the bench. Welcome, Sir Rowan. We all carry scars of our journeys. Perhaps, by sharing our stories, we may find the strength to heal. Sir Rowan nodded, his gaze turning toward the distant horizon where the first hints of dawn were beginning to mingle with the twilight. I once believed that the fires of battle were the only path to honor. But in the silence of winter, I have learned that true courage lies in the ability to let go of the past and embrace the promise of a new day. His words resonated deeply with Daenerys, and for a long while, the two sat in quiet companionship, each lost in their own reflections of hope and redemption. The valley, with its timeless beauty and gentle rhythm, seemed to cradle them in its ancient wisdom, a sanctuary where even the most battle-worn hearts could find a measure of peace. After a time, Daenerys rose, feeling renewed and inspired. Sir Rowan, your words remind me that even in the coldest seasons, the warmth of compassion and understanding can kindle a flame that defies the dark. I must continue on my path, guided by the quiet strength that resides within all of us. Sir Rowan bowed his head in farewell. May your journey be filled with light, Lady Daenerys, and may the winter's dream forever guide your heart. With that, Daenerys resumed her journey through the hidden valley, her spirit uplifted by the encounters that had enriched her soul. Emberheart descended gracefully from the sky, landing beside her with a gentle thud that echoed like a soft heartbeat. The dragon's eyes shone with a deep, comforting light, as if affirming that the road ahead, though uncertain, was filled with possibilities for healing and renewal. Together, they followed a narrow path that wound through clusters of silver-barked trees and past quiet pools of shimmering water. The scenery shifted subtly with each step, as if the valley itself were a living tapestry of dreams and memories interwoven. Daenerys began to notice small symbols etched into the bark of trees and stones along the way. Symbols that resonated with the pendant's design. It was as though the ancient magic of the valley was reaching out to her, urging her to remember that every moment was part of a greater, ever unfolding story. As the hours passed, the valley transformed beneath the gentle influence of approaching dawn. A soft pastel glow began to paint the sky, a prelude to the coming day. Daenerys felt a profound sense of closure, as if the journey through winter's night had been a necessary passage through the labyrinth of her own heart. The dreams that had guided her, of healing, hope, and renewal, now shone as brightly as the emerging sun. In a final clearing where the landscape opened up to a vista of rolling, frost-covered hills and a horizon that blazed with the promise of morning, Daenerys paused to absorb the beauty of the moment. Emberheart alighted beside her, and together they beheld the splendor of a new dawn. A dawn that symbolized not just the end of a long winter night, but the beginning of a fresh chapter filled with gentle light and endless possibility. Daenerys closed her eyes for a moment, letting the first rays of sunlight wash over her. In that silent, sacred pause, she vowed to carry the lessons of the winter dream deep within her heart. She would honor the memories of the past while embracing the transformative magic of the present. A magic that whispered that even in the darkest hours, hope could be reborn with each new sunrise. With renewed determination, Daenerys rose and, with Emberheart by her side, stepped forward into the radiant light of the new day. The valley's gentle magic seemed to follow her, a soft echo of the lullabies sung by ancient ruins and whispered by frost-laden leaves. Each step she took was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a spirit that, despite the cold and the scars of battle, continued to seek beauty, understanding, and the quiet promise of tomorrow. As they journeyed on, the path wound its way toward a distant mountain pass, where legends said the spirit of winter itself resided. Daenerys felt drawn to this place, a sacred meeting point of nature's raw power and its tender, nurturing side. The mountain loomed in the distance, its peak shrouded in a veil of gentle mist and soft snow. There was something majestic in its quiet grandeur, a reminder that even the mightiest forces of nature could be gentle and kind. Approaching the pass, Daenerys encountered a small, weathered shrine nestled in the foothills. The shrine, adorned with simple carvings and offerings left by travelers of old, exuded an aura of reverence and gratitude. Here, Daenerys knelt and offered a silent prayer of thanks, a prayer for healing, for the beauty of the journey, and for the quiet courage that had carried her through the long winter night. Emberheart lowered her head in respectful acknowledgement, her warm eyes reflecting the shimmering light of the shrine. In that sacred moment, the air itself seemed to pulse with the steady rhythm of life, a gentle reminder that every ending was but the prelude to a new beginning. After a long moment of reflection, Daenerys stood once more, the soft glow of the shrine lingering in her heart. She turned to Emberheart and whispered, "Let us continue, my friend. There is still much to see and learn on this wondrous journey. With every step, I feel the winter's magic guiding me, urging me to be both brave and gentle in the face of life's endless mysteries." Emberheart responded with a reassuring rumble, her presence as steadfast as ever. With the mountain pass beckoning ahead and the memories of the night etched deep within their souls, Daenerys and her loyal dragon resumed their journey. The winding trail led them through fields of crystalline frost and past ancient groves where the whispers of the past mingled with the promise of the future. In the cool, clear air, Daenerys felt the quiet strength of winter settle within her like a comforting shroud. Each step was a meditation, a mindful embrace of the moment, a gentle acknowledgement of all that had been and all that could yet be. The journey was not merely a physical passage through a transformed landscape. It was a soulful pilgrimage toward healing, a nightly dance with the echoes of dreams that defied time and sorrow. As the day unfurled in gentle hues of pink and lavender, Daenerys realized that the true magic of the winter dream was not found in the grandeur of ancient legends or the might of a dragon's roar. It was discovered in the quiet moments between breaths, in the soft caress of a winter breeze, and in the compassionate heart of a woman who dared to dream even when the night was long and cold. And so, with Emberheart's warm presence guiding her through the shifting light of dawn, Daenerys stepped forward into a future filled with gentle promise. Her winter dream had been a tapestry of sorrow and healing, of echoes and soft lullabies, a dream that would forever remind her that even in the deepest cold, the embers of hope and love burned ever bright. Thus, the journey continued, not with the clamor of conquest or the clash of steel, but with the silent, enduring power of a heart that embraced its past, trusted its present, and looked forward with quiet faith to the promise of each new day. So, thank you, dear listeners, for joining us on this enchanted journey through a winter wonderland in Westeros. If this tale of Daenerys and Emberheart has warmed your heart, please subscribe to Dreamy Sleep Tales. Give the video a like and share it with those who might need a touch of magic tonight. May the whispers of ancient magic and the gentle glow of hope accompany you into peaceful dreams. Rest well until we meet again, and good night.